And welcome, it's Matt Finnegan here and you're watching a Soccer Insight betting preview brought to you by betting-insight.com, and we're looking at the London derby, Chelsea versus Fulham. It's the Saturday tea time game live on Sky, and going into the game we rate on the OP index Chelsea at 1.33 chances. Fulham, well, they're at 13.5 and the draw at 6.0. That should be your benchmark. That's the master tissue that we provide. Neither team are really in any sort of form going into the game, but quite significantly, when you look at the head-to-head, Chelsea are unbeaten in the last 7 seasons. In fact, they're actually unbeaten in all the seasons that Fulham have been in the Premier League. So, looking for that away victory. We know Fulham don't travel too well anyway, but they certainly don't win at the Bridge. Looking at the prices on Betfair, well, Chelsea not too far away. In fact, the prices are very, very similar to our index prices. Okay, this is taken early in the week, around sort of Thursday. This screenshot was sort of taken. These are subject to change over the weekend, but as you can see, our prices are not too far away, from the exchanges themselves. So what options do we have in the market? And basically, if you feel Chelsea will win, at the moment they offer real no value with the bookmakers, and that they're a lot shorter with the bookmakers, and you're going to need to be sort of creative when you're playing down at these prices. Will you back them at sort of 1.3, 1.33? You've got to find options. But in truth, there's very, very limited sort of margin on that game. At the end of the day, probably the exchanges is going to be around that. But I wouldn't be surprised, because of Chelsea's defeat last week at Everton and the defeat in midweek at home against Basel, that punters steam into this, and they actually shorten the actual sort of match time. So price ramping. One option is backing them to win to nil. You should get around 2.20, and that's not a bad option. Certainly with Jose Mourinho's team tend to be sort of cautious first, and you're asking yourself the question: yes, Chelsea will win. How sort of confident are you that Fulham won't score? And if you are confident that they can't see them scoring, then that will certainly ramp the price up 6 to 5, 2.2. The winning margins, consider touching 1 or 2 goals, should pay around even money. And I'll talk about winning margins a little bit later in this show, but that sort of pays as even money. So that again is ramping that. And your thought process there is Chelsea will win, but they don't win by 3 or more goals. And if you think that is likely to happen, that's not bad. It's going to ramp up the price. But let's flip it. Let's look at Fulham win or getting a result. Basically, if you think Fulham will get a result, then lay Chelsea on the betting exchanges. It's sort of a fair price anyway. They're roughly around that. So you're getting a pretty sort of decent value, and certainly keep an eye on the markets if Chelsea are to come in, because then you are going to get value laying them for sort of Fulham to come away with some kind of result. And one of the options that I've sort of noticed, if you think Fulham will do well, is consider backing neither team winning the race to 3 goals. 8 to 11, 1.73 with Ladbrokes. I think that's a great price. Considering you're asking the question, will Chelsea get 3 goals? Yes, they could that, but could Fulham keep it tight? Bear in mind that Chelsea have not been scoring a great deal of goals. That is certainly one that you could sort of consider. And another one that I like for Fulham is the Asian handicap option. You could take 1.77 on plus 1.7 goals on the Asian handicap. You get half your stake back if they lose by 2 goals. Okay, so if they lose by a goal, you're going to be winning on the Asian handicap, and if they lose by 2, then you're going to get half your stake back and lose half. So obviously to lose all your stake is going to be 3 goals. So again, that could be an option on the Asian handicaps if you think Fulham are actually sort of going to do well. So you've actually got that loss in it. Yes, it pulls the price down. You're roughly at about 3 to 1 for Chelsea not to win the game. So let's have a quick look at the winning margin options here. One goal Chelsea 3.9, 2 goal margin 4.1, 5.75 the 3 goal margin. Now you can Dutch, 1, 2 and 3. That will just ramp that up to just under a 1 to 2 shot at 148. Like I say, it's even money for 1 2. Dutch in 2 to 3 goals, 2 or 3 goal margin. Well, that ramps that up to 11 to 8. And basically what you're saying there is Chelsea will win. They'll win by more than 1 goal, but they won't win by 4, and that could tempt you, depending on how confident that you are in a Chelsea victory. And if you think it's going to be quite easy, that's certainly a tempting sort of price. As you can see with the Fulham, I think the best option with the winning margins is not to Dutch anything, and you just take that 1 goal margin. That's going to be above the price of Fulham to actually sort of win the game. But in truth, I think probably that sort of neither team to win the race to 3 goals or the Asian handicap route. If you think Fulham are going to do well, could be sort of better options than sort of playing them to actually sort of win the game, given that they've never won at the Bridge. Let's have a look at the unders and overs. Well, not surprisingly, all of the value is actually on the unders side here. So again, you can swim against the grain here, and if you feel that it's going to be sort of tight, then you're getting value with the unders. It's 1 to 2, 1.5 under 3.5 goals, and that's good value against the 1.34 on our index price, as is the 11 to 8 on under 2.5 goals. These prices are subject to change. We're recording this earlier in the week. As it gets through to the weekend on Saturday, if you're watching this, please have a look at the price. What we're saying here, it's most likely going to be value on the underside there. So that's the unders and overs. At the end of the day, if you're going to be sort of wanting to sort of back goals, please refer to the market analysis on the actual sort of blog itself. That's going to give you an in-depth analysis if you fancy goals in the game. And finally, onto the in-play stats, and basically here, matches 0-0 at 25. There's a 49% chance of a goal before half-time. So matches at 25 minutes that are 0-0, it's a 50-50 sort of call that there will be a goal before half-time. And then in this game, there's a 76.83% chance of a goal being scored between 25 and 70 minutes, and there could be already a goal in the game. What it's saying is that between that sort of time frame, there is that sort of percentage chance that there will be a goal, and if it happens, there's a 75% chance 3 in 4 games will produce another goal. So just bear that in mind. As the game's going, as you're watching that live on TV, those percentages. If it is 0-0 at that time, you know that to 70 minutes you've got a 76% chance that there could be a goal in the game, and that can help you with some of the decision making. And finally, it's a 60% chance that the last goal of the match coming after 65 minutes. You need to be backing at 167 or above. Now, if the game and the goals are flowing, it's not going to be that price. But if it's very slow and it's still 0-0, you're likely to get that price. So that's it. That's the market analysis. Like I say, there's a full in-depth analysis on this game on the blog betting-insight.com. If you want to sort of read that and look at more markets than sort of covered in this brief preview, please do so. But I hope you found that useful, and thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you very soon in another preview. Bye for now.